Heading into the 15th of November 2019, meteorologist Robert Spetta here with you, and continuing the track, Tropical Storm Kalmaegi, or Ramon as known in the Philippines, rather disorganized, shoveled mess at this time, but a little bit of a disparity between the official agencies. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center actually expecting this to remain a tropical storm as it moves off towards the west, while the Japan Meteorological Agency may be intensifying this into a typhoon, and I'll explain why there is kind of a difference here. But the first and foremost is that this is disheveled. Plenty of the convection off towards the north and east. There is a lot of wind shear continuing to push down on the system, allowing all of this cloud cover to really just continue to remain skewed towards the north and east and towards the southwest. So my initial thoughts on this storm system remain unchanged, in the sense that it will be a big rainmaker with the heaviest showers on the northern periphery as well as the highest winds off towards the north, which we're already seeing out here. In fact, this is the ASCAT imagery. This is a polar orbiting satellite that measures basically the waves at the surface, kind of gives you a rough estimate of what the winds are as well at the surface, and it typically can be somewhat accurate, but the key thing here is that you have that center of circulation well down here towards the south with the higher winds well towards the north. That's why as you take a look at the center line of this storm system, let's pull it up here with JMA, you have to remember the highest winds are north of that center of circulation. Now, take a look at this. It moves very slowly towards the west and eventually turns towards the north. JMA, though, does expect this to continue to intensify with a max, look at this, upwards 50, 65 to 95. I'm actually pretty surprised at how aggressive they are going with this storm system, bringing it up to a weaker end typhoon. But if it does linger out here long enough and stays offshore just long enough, it very well could make it to that intensity. I know I've been saying that for a few days, that there's a low probability of this becoming a typhoon, but I'll be the first to admit I was wrong possibly with this. Now I think it's going to be a stronger tropical storm or a low-end typhoon, and all depends on how long it stays out to sea, and if that wind shear starts to lack off a little bit, because right now it's just continuing to be skewed. So with that said, my forecast doesn't change. Gusty winds still from Apari down through Isabela, basically the Cagayan Valley, plenty of heavy rainfall continuing to stream in ahead of that center of circulation throughout the weekend, meaning that some areas could get upwards of 600 to 800 millimeters. Actually, the latest run from the global forecasting system, also known as the GFS model, does pick up on upwards about 600 millimeters in some of these areas just offshore. So this hasn't changed at all. Plus the forecast for Manila and basically the NCR, where you need the rain, hasn't changed at all either. Continues to remain dry there. So still plenty of rainfall in the forecast with this storm, and eventually could move towards the north and even impact Taiwan if it does continue to keep its act together. That will not be until next week, though. But I want to keep an eye on it. So let's take a look at the GFS in the bigger picture here. Here's our storm system kind of drifting off there and eventually goes towards the west. Like I said, there is a model, the European model actually kind of pulls it towards the north. But today I do want to key in more on this area now, which is located towards the east of the Philippines, starting to see something develop south of Guam. We've had model run after model run of potential development with a storm system that could impact the central Philippines. In fact, I'm going to change this up using the GFS over to the ECMWF. Still, that area is there heading into next Wednesday, so a little under a week away. And then we change this from the European to the CMC. It's there as well. And let's look at the NavGem for giggles here. Not really there, but still there is something it kind of pulls up on here. My point is that a few models are all kind of agreeing on the potential of a tropical system developing by the midpoint of next week and impacting central areas of that country. So definitely want to keep a very, very close eye on that. The good news for Japan on the of this is staying towards your south, including tropical storm, or excuse me, actually typhoon now. Fengshen off here towards the east. Really just plenty of wind shear, keeping things cool north of that front. So Korea, Japan, Eastern China, all going to be staying on the dry side. Really, all of this rainfall is going to be staying down here towards towards south, well into the tropics. So definitely going to keep an eye on all of these things here. Dry, cool air moving across Japan, Korea. Like I said, though, hey, actually with that northeasterly wind, plenty of snowfall in the mountains there. Some good sea effect snow taking place. Then you got Fengshen, and here's our other area back here towards the east. So gonna watch all of this. Hey, there's a lot going on here. Yeah, I'm gonna keep you guys posted on what we could possibly see. Maybe I'll probably type something up on westernpacificweather.com as well. I know this is misleading, by the way, something I didn't point out earlier. All of this basically convection is getting sheared towards the north and east. Center of circulation still remains towards the south. So as long as that shear is there, this is going to remain weak. I think JMA is being aggressive. Anyways, stay safe out there.